What's up, guys? Josh here from Mile High Vapin. Today we're going to be taking a step back and looking at the Triton Starter Kit by Halo. This video probably isn't going to appeal to 90% of my subscribers, but if you're a cigarette smoker looking to get into vaping, stick around. I think this is a great product for you. This kit is available for around $24.99 in your local brick and mortar shops. They have a list of all their locations on their Facebook page. I'll have a link down in the description for that. If you're interested in picking it up online, they have more of a deluxe kit for $54.99, which I do recommend looking into. You get 2 batteries, 2 tanks, and a couple other goodies along with it. The kit includes everything you need to get vaping right out of the door. You got your battery, your tank. They even throw in a little bit of juice to get you going your first week. The vapor production is not bad on this guy. I was actually pretty surprised. Let's test her out. It is a tighter draw. But that's nice. Definitely got to do mouth-to-lung hits with this, where you pull it into your mouth first and then inhale into your lungs. Definitely not a lung hitter, but when you're coming off cigarettes into vaping, that's not how you're vaping. I think the draw on this is perfect. Satisfying amount of vapor. Been pretty pleased with this guy. Alright, let's dive down into what we get in the box. When you get your Halo Triton starter kit, it comes in this very appealing packaging. Definitely notice this sitting up on a shelf at your local store. This one did come with Tribeca, 18 milligram nicotine. It's a nice tobacco blend, RY4. It's like a caramel vanilla tobacco. Very good. Triton starter kit. Very well designed package. All your info on the back. This is everything you get in your package. Got our USB charger. Plug that into any of your USB ports. Charge your battery. Got a 7 milliliter bottle of 18 milligram Tribeca. They also have a menthol version of this kit. Comes with a very detailed manual. Covers all the bases. And the main star of the show, the Halo Triton Starter Kit. This battery is not adjustable. It's a 650 milliamp hour battery. The tank in here is refillable, and the coil heads in here are replaceable, which is a big plus. Very easy to assemble this guy. Just unscrew it. It may look like your basic Ego battery, but the connection in there sits up higher and the threading is a little different. Not everything will fit on here. They do sell an Ego adapter for this guy if you're interested in it. That's available on their website. To charge this guy, just screw it in, plug it into any USB port. This light will turn on red, let you know that it is charging, and it will turn blue when it is done. In my experience, I've drained this thing down all the way, and it takes about an hour and a half, 2 hours to charge it each time. This tank holds 2.4 milliliters of e-liquid. Depending on your vaping, that could last you all day, that could last you a few hours. Just really depends. This does look a lot like a CE4 styled cartridge. In my experience, this thing works a lot better. I haven't gotten any dry hits with this thing. It doesn't spit up at me. When I first started vaping, I had a kit very similar to this, and I had to take this thing apart and dry it up with paper towels constantly because it was spitting up liquid into my mouth, giving me it was a horrible vaping experience, but it worked. This guy, it's been working great. I have been very, very pleasantly surprised with its performance. It's hitting great. I would say for optimal performance with these tanks, that's about as low as I like to go. Just a little about halfway. The coil does sit up on the top here, so these wicks have to pull the liquid from the bottom up to the top. So the more liquid you have in there, the easier it wicks up to the coils. less chance of getting a dry hit and burning it out. To fill this guy up, it's pretty simple. Just untwist the top. Take your liquid and stick it right there on the side. In other tanks that are designed like this, the gap right here, well, this center coil sometimes sits down further in there, so it's harder to get it along the side wall right here, and you want to make sure not to get any liquid down in there. So having it raised up like that makes it so much easier. It's pretty hard to get any liquid down in that center hole. And then you just squeeze and fill her up. Nice and simple. Alright. To replace these coils, that just screws in and out. Those, depending on usage, in my experience, last about a week on up to 3 or 4 weeks if you're not very picky on flavor, because flavor will diminish, vapor production will diminish as your coils get beat up. You can replace those. They sell 5-packs for $12.50, which isn't bad. When you're putting a new coil in here, you want to let it sit for a couple minutes, make sure it's fully saturated and soaked all the way in there. You don't want to fire this thing up dry and ruin your coil right off the bat. So let it sit for a minute. Thing assembles pretty easily, pretty straightforward. Screws on, turn it on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, that turned it off. Turn it off, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And to turn it on, 5 clicks, blinks, and now she's firing. It's got 2 airflow holes on here. Because that's one of my issues with this thing, is that my thumb kind of would cover up one of the airflow holes, but you could tell when you're drawing, like, oh, there's definitely not as much airflow as need to be. But that's user error. There is a little ridge here, so you can fill it so your finger doesn't go up and cover up the airflow hole. Alright guys, I think that's everything we need to see down here in the up close portion of this. Let's take her back up top and vape on it and give you my final opinion of it. So that's the Triton starter kit by Halo. Honestly, I had pretty low expectations for this thing when I got it. I haven't used a setup like this in quite some time. Been vaping on bigger, more powerful, more complicated devices. But honestly, I've been really impressed with this thing. I've been vaping it with the 18 milligram nicotine juice in here. I do vape 3 on a regular basis, so this 18 does give a nice kick. $24.99, includes everything you need, even gives you the juice you want. 18 milligram. Most smokers are going to like the 18 milligram. When I started, I was vaping 24 milligram, but I quickly went down to 18. I think 18 is the perfect sample to include in there. When I first started vaping, I bought a kit similar to this from a head shop, paid $100 for the damn thing. And it didn't work half as good as this. I would say the only downside to the kit is that it only includes 1 battery. When that battery runs out, if it runs out during the day, you're out of a vape for 1.5 hours to 2 hours. So if you pick up the single starter kit, you're probably going to want to pick up a second battery. If the battery life does make it throughout the day for you, you're definitely going to want to charge it at night, so it'll make it through that second day. It looks very similar to the CE4s that you'll see at a lot of brick and mortars, but unless it says Halo on it, I'm not going to stand by it. These Halo designed ones, they work very well. I like that the coils are replaceable. Getting great flavor off this thing. Really impressed with the vapor production. Decent vapor for a little setup like this. It's got a nice tight draw on there. Can't do any like long hits or cloud chasing with this guy, but that's not what it's designed for. In my opinion, this is designed for a smoker getting into vaping, and it does a great job at that. Not bad at all. Awesome flavor. Very impressed with this flavor. I'm not getting any chemical or any flavor from the wick or coil. Just tasting that sweet Tribeca. Very good juice. And then 18 milligram, yeah, it hits. It provides that thump that nicotine is definitely getting provided. The 18 milligrams, it gives it that thump that a smoker's going to be desiring, help him get off smoking cigs. It's sleek, it's compact, definitely provides a better vaping experience than a cig-alike. A lot easier and less intimidating to use than something like this. So if you're a cigarette smoker looking to get into vaping, I highly recommend checking out this Halo starter kit. It's going to get you in the door to vaping, get you started down the road to quitting smoking cigs. And this Tribeca flavor is awesome. I don't usually care for tobacco vapes, but this stuff is delicious. Very good, guys. A plus on that too. It's not a bad setup. Ooh. At 18 milligrams is intoxicating. Dang. Pretty nice. Alright guys, as always, I'll have links to everything in the description. If you like this review, give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe. Other than that, peace and vape on.